What's up, YouTube? Huff and Puff Vapes here, doing our first review.
Today we're going to be reviewing the Kangertech Protank 3 here. I don't know if you can see that well enough.
So we got a good bit of pros and cons here. First off, we're just going to go real quick, the price on the Protank. So it's pretty affordable, so if you're just getting into vaping, your local vape shops, most people are carrying these, so it's got a pretty decent price on them for what you're getting.
Now, we're going to be vaping today on, we have well, first of all, the Kanger Protanks actually have, the Protank 3 I know, they actually have a dual coil. And what that means is, for each of the wicks in there, there's two actual wicks. There's one on bottom, one on top, and each of those wicks have an actual coil around it. Now, the coils in there, we have they come with two of them. There's a 1.8 and a 2.0. I think we're both vaping on the 2.0. Yeah, we're both vaping on the 2.0, so just to get that straight off the bat. Now, there's a lot of pros and a lot of cons. Now, we're going to go ahead and start off with the cons first, because the cons are, there's a few more than the pros. So he's going to go ahead and lead us off with the cons on it.
So the biggest problem I have with this, probably that the wicks actually come loose a lot. So as you can see, of course, you can replace the wicks a lot. I don't know if you can see it, but you can actually unscrew this part here, and that's what actually comes loose. And it leaks from there a lot, especially if your tank gets low, which mine actually is right now. See, you can kind of see how low it starts leaking out the bottom, and it becomes a real pain, you know, leak into the top of your e-cig or whatever you're using. So that's one of the biggest problems, is that wick coming loose on it.
By the way, I'm vaping mine on the iTaste VTR, the newer one that doesn't have all the fingerprint magnet on it. It still does, but not that bad. And he's vaping on the...
I've got the E-Fire variable voltage, the hand carved one. Goes from 3.8 to 4.8 volts. So the only the only other problem I've got with this tank is it does gurgle a lot.
Especially when you get low, like with the leaking and stuff. So
yeah, not really a problem per se, but just more annoying than anything. So a couple leaks, a little bit of gurgle, nothing too serious though. Still all around good tank to use. So let's see what we got for as far as pros for the Protank 3.
Let's go ahead and start off with the Protank 3 has a great vapor production. I mean, it's not like on the top end with like one of your RDAs or so. It's going to be down there with about the mid-range, but for the mid-range, it's like you have low, medium, and high. For the mid-range, it's pretty close up to high. I'd say that this would be a great everyday kind of a tank to use, carry around with you. If you have like an Ego C twist or so, you can use it with the smaller batteries. Now, the wicks in there, with it being a dual coil, the 2.0 especially, like I don't know why I keep running to the 2.0. It's one of the best ones I've had. Like I've had plenty of the Clarimizers, the tanks, and stuff like that, and this one's my favorite. It does have the glass tank, so you can mix juices, and it doesn't burn the wick like crazy or mess up any kind of plastic, because there's no plastic. There's all glass. And then you can come up with, or the drip tip's pretty nice, because the curviness of it kind of contours to your mouth whenever you're taking a hit on it. So you see that
that's a tip that comes with it in the box.
And you can see that mine's a little scratched up. They're pretty durable. I mean, I was riding a motorcycle and I tried to pop a wheelie. I'm not very good at it, so it kind of fell out of my pocket and hit the ground. I found it 2 or 3 days later, and the Protank was intact. Now I was vaping it on the Ego C twist. It has the variable voltage on the bottom where you can twist it, and the battery was mangled. It was completely blown apart, and the tank, the only thing that was missing was my drip tip, because I had a different drip tip like his. But they're pretty durable. See?
I do have the custom drip tip on mine,
but
fits beautifully.
It has the 510 connector and a good starting voltage if you're not into vaping, or if you're just now getting into vaping and you want something good. Like, of course, the price for these are going to be like it's like the greatest value for if you're trying to start off.
It also, real quick, it does come, I don't know if you can see that, but it comes with this beauty ring right here for if you have something like mine. So it does come with that beauty ring that you could put wherever, or you could run it without it, either way.
Yeah, but like I was saying, it has a 510 connector, so it'll fit in most of your mods, like the Ego C Twist, the VTR. Most of them have the 510 connection now. the best thing about this tank, I would have to say, is the fact that it's got the glass on there, because that comes in handy a lot. I know whenever I first started vaping that the tanks that I was using were plastic, and we didn't really know that you couldn't mix the juices in there, and we were like wondering why we kept burning our juices and stuff like that, or burning our wicks and stuff like that. And it's because they're plastic. You can't mix juices in a plastic tank. Please don't do that. Like, just don't.
So main things you're looking at when you're trying to find a good tank to use: flavor, the vape output,
Which, by the way, we haven't been doing much.
and and the density of how much comes out. You also want, look at throat hit, which also comes with how much nicotine you use. This has good taste. We like to mix flavors a lot to get on, but if you're using a straight flavor, it does put out good flavor. Like, we both like 4.3 volts a lot. That puts out a good amount of smoke. If you want to take a good hit real quick and show them.
You see, I don't know if you can see that too well, but 4.4 volts right there.
So he'll go ahead and take a hit for you and show how much it puts out. Wicks last a long time. It doesn't burn easy. So all around good output, good flavor, and a nice throat hit. I vape mine on 4.8 volts all the time, and they don't burn, so they could last in wicks.
So overall, I would say that for the value, for this to be a mid-range to high-range tank is what I would say. It's not up there with like the best tanks, but this one's pretty good. It's up there. I would say for those of you who are starting out on vaping and who just want to like start doing tricks and all that kind of stuff, I would say go ahead and go for it. This is like one of the best tanks, in my opinion. I would use this as an everyday vape. It's durable.
Yeah, dude, this is my everyday tank that I use. So we'll just go ahead and do a quick recap. Also, real quick, it does hold 2.5 milliliters of liquid, or e-juice, whatever you want to call it. So good value for you every day, just trying to get into vaping, starting vaping, whatever you got going on. Glass tank, mixable, good taste, good output, good lasting dual coil wicks.
And your battery does last a pretty good bit with these, but it is kind of a tight draw, but it is still a pretty good tank.
So keep an eye, subscribe to our channel. We'll be putting out more reviews here soon on the, we've actually got one on the Protank 2, the Mini, coming up, and then we'll also be doing one on my E-Fire variable voltage.
And on my iTaste BTR as well. So
keep an eye, subscribe to our channel, and we'll keep them coming to you.